welcome to episode 6 of Unpopular Opinion. I'm your host, Mika Gatt, joined as always by Mr. Kyle Pucci on my left. And instead of Ayush, we got special guest Mr. Ford Pegram on my right. We got a little substitute for Ayush, but I think we're going to make this show count.
Do it.
All right, so let's start off with a pretty interesting topic here in New England. So sitting at 2-4 right now are the New England Patriots. Back-to-back losses, one against the Niners, 33-6. Okay, a good team though, but they lost to Denver the week before, and oh man. So, Ford, what do you think? You think the Patriots right now are contenders, pretenders, or should they just pretend the season's over?
My hot take for this season is that the Patriots are going to bounce back and win the division. That's what I'm thinking right now. I know it hasn't looked good the past two games. The Niners game, that was the worst football I've ever seen the Patriots play in my life. But, hey, Kyle, you cannot forget about the winnable games we've had against Seattle. We've had, and personally, I think the Chiefs game was a winnable game. If we had a healthy Cam Newton, we had Hoyer coughing the ball up in the red zone.
I can agree with that.
Those are two winnable games against arguably, the top two teams in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
We also, the Raiders, the one team to beat the Chiefs so far, Las Vegas Raiders, we clapped. They were I wasn't impressed with what I saw from them. They somehow beat Kansas City, and we beat them. I'm just saying, we've competed with good teams, and I think it's there. I think there's something there.
So you think that you go into Buffalo this week and win?
That's a tough game. In Buffalo, the Bills are tough. They've always played us tough. So, to be honest, that's a toss-up for me. I'm probably going to lean to Buffalo. But, we got the Jets coming up again. We got
you got
schedule.
the Jets!
We're playing the Texans, Chargers. We got a lot of winnable games on the schedule, and I think it's a possibility that we bounce back and win the division.
Kyle, what do you think?
All right, you guys ready?
Ford, close your ears!
The season is over. All capital letters, over. We are porked. All right, we are 2-4. 2-4. We lost to the horrible Broncos at home. Terrible. Last week, we lose 33-6 against San Francisco. I know San Francisco was good, but that was a complete no-show last week. That sucked. We have zero run defense. Other than Lawrence Guy, we have absolutely nobody in the front seven who could stop anything. They get basically trucked in every game by any run game. The whole secondary looks like they've quit on the whole team. We have no receivers. Our receivers they suck. Edelman's not playing this weekend either. Cam Newton got benched because he also sucked. Our tight ends don't have one target. Just wanted to tell you, we've drafted 2 tight ends last year. Do you want to know how many targets they have? Big old goose egg. They got nothing. They got 0 targets. They have there's not one thing I can look at on this team right now and say I feel good about. I know Cam Newton has played the past 3 games. He's arguably been the worst in the league for performance. Seriously, I was saying that. Of course, the Seahawks, we came 1 yard away from winning. That game feels like an aberration now because now looking at how bad the Seahawks pass defense is, who can't throw for 300 yards against that defense? One of us could because they suck.
Kyle for quarterback. We did this last week. No, 2 weeks ago. We said Kyle for quarterback.
And you know what? The Kansas City game, Brian Hoyer, yes, he stunk it up. He crapped the bed in that game, and he turned over the ball constantly in the red zone. But that game that Cam Newton played last week against San Fran may have been the worst quarterback performance I have ever seen in a game. The first interception he threw, horrible. Yeah. Just awful.
He just tossed it in.
That may have been the worst pass I have ever seen in a game. Horrible. So we're porked.
All right, let's see what Ford has to say.
I will say that Cam has been playing terribly the past couple of weeks, but there's no Belichick never says anything good about anybody. And at the beginning of the season, he said Cam is one of the most hardworking guys I've ever coached. The work ethic is there, and I've seen flashes of the talent too. There's something there, and I feel like we're not done yet. I feel like we're going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know.
All right, well, let me throw something out there to back up Kyle on this one. Mm-hmm. So there have been a lot of rumors going around, so we'll talk about this in a couple of minutes. So the trade deadline is coming up November 3rd at 4 p.m. Patriots said pretty much that everybody's on the table. anybody you want, come give us a call. You want Stephon Gilmore, you want Julian Edelman, you want Cam Newton, and along with that, I think Edelman just had some type of surgery. He's out this week, and he might be out for a couple more weeks, too.
I think Edelman's kind of over the hill. That's one guy.
I agree.
Yeah, but he still is Cam Newton's number one receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's just a bad statement on the team. Like, the receivers are just, they have almost no
need
talent.
Some weapons. We've needed some weapons for a while.
We need some weapons at receive. Like, I don't even think our running backs. I think Damian Harris is all right. I think he's decent. I think he's
the O-line's not good enough to make him look that good.
No, it's not. But I think Damian Harris at least runs harder than what Sony Michel, that guy, whatever, gives you.
And how about James White and Rex Burkhead?
Well,
two solid running backs.
They're just both good.
I just think
James White should be more involved. I've thought that for a while.
I just thought White was so involved because of Brady.
Yeah.
Check down Tom.
Just like what he does.
Check down Tom.
But seriously, like, you go to the defense. I mean, they have nothing at the front seven except Lawrence Guy. Like,
they've never been able to stop the run, though. That's been an issue forever.
But they've been at least a little credible. I mean, this game, I mean, this team, you can score however you want on this defense at this point.
I will say, we did lose Dante Hightower, just, because
and Patrick Chung, may as well throw that out there.
We did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those are some pieces, but, there's some extreme circumstances this year, but regardless, there are definitely some things that need to be changed.
Well, I think that this is completely on Bill Belichick because, you know what, they opted out of the season. I get it, but you know what? That was 3 months before the season. He should have had a plan to back those guys up. And this whole thing about how, Cam Newton, Jarrett Stidham, and Brian Hoyer, I think they all suck, in my opinion. But, they also had...
Patriots, Kyle? Anyone that doesn't suck?
There's maybe one or two guys.
Okay, just making sure.
We have no answer at quarterback. We don't have any. I don't even blame Cam Newton or the quarterbacks that much because we just don't have anybody to throw to.
We don't have anyone to throw to.
No one.
Open. No one's ever open.
No one is ever open.
All right. Well, I saw a report today. I don't know if you guys saw this. A reporter came out and said that after the so far performance of the season, Bill Belichick should be fired from the Patriots. What do you guys think?
Man.
That a report came out, and I saw it this morning, that said Bill Belichick should not be the current coach of the Patriots. Opinions? Ford, go ahead.
I think retire.
Not fired. I meant retired. He should step away from the job.
Okay. Firing Bill Belichick is a hard thing.
Yeah, that would be a little harsh.
That's a little
even
harsh.
I could say that.
I mean, I think what Bill's done this year, I think he's gotten a little cocky. I think he's gotten so confident in his abilities as a coach that he's kind of, forgotten that he's also the general manager of the team and just refuses to bring himself any talent. He wants to show that he can coach his way into a Super Bowl. And you just can't. In this day and age, there's so many guys in the NFL that are good that they're just not going to be able to make it without talent. And I honestly think we need one superstar in a skill position. That's all we need. I think if we take, AJ Green, that's a guy.
We'll talk about. We have a trade segment coming on. Don't spoil your own show.
I kind of agree with what you're saying about Bill being cocky. And speaking of him being cocky, just the way he handled the whole quarterback situation when Brady left, they had no plan for when Brady left. Yeah. They're in a market full of quarterbacks. How many quarterbacks did she go to a different team? We couldn't have at least made a play. Even if you wanted Cam Newton, they waited until July to sign him. Mm-hmm. And they're not even using him the way he's the first game of the season he ran 15 times. Can you even remember one time he ran in the past 2 weeks? They've gotten away with what he does best. Yeah. And they're trying to make him into Brady who drops back it doesn't work. It won't do it.
Last question before we move on to the next segment. Who right now would you say is maybe not doing better, but who would you rather be right now? Bill Belichick and the Patriots or Tom Brady?
Oh my God. Is this even a question?
I'm just curious. Tell me, why would you want to be anywhere near New England right now? To be a Patriots fan.
You wouldn't want to be anywhere near New England. I don't think there's anything positive to look at this. If you're a free agent after the season, are you really looking at the Patriots and saying, I want to go there? No, you're not. There's nothing to be promised there.
Yeah.
So you don't even think that you're going to get many free agents? What do you think, Ford? Any free agents, maybe?
We'll see. We just never do. We never have in the past, so why should things change? The Crafts have always been unwilling to spend any money, go out and get guys, and I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I didn't think the Pats would be as good this year as what they normally are, but I didn't think they would be this bad. I mean, this is pathetic.
I called it.
Time to
Oh,
bounce
you
back.
didn't call it.
I said the
Time
Bills
to
were going to
bounce
win the
back.
division.
Okay, that doesn't mean you meant the Patriots would suck.
Oh, I said they were going to go 8-8.
I'll be worried if we lose the next two.
Oh, what? Oh, it's over.
Yeah, if you lose to the Jets, you should not be a
and
team.
that's
Right?
over.
You know what? The Patriots
Not
will
gonna
only
lose to
win.
Jets.
What did I
Or
have?
there's still room to
The
bounce.
Patriots will only win 2 more games this year. Mark my
Oh.
words. We will only beat the Jets in both games.
You think Tua Tagovailoa can beat the Patriots?
Yes.
We can beat
Yep.
the Texans,
Mm-hmm.
Chargers.
No,
Chargers.
No, we
Chargers.
suck.
Dolphins.
We're-
Dolphins are actually 3-3. The Patriots are 3rd in the AFC.
We suck.
All
We're
right.
porked.
Okay, all right. That's enough for the Patriots, Kyle. Wait till after the Bills game. All right, next topic. I want to hear from both of you. So like I said, the NFL trade deadline is coming up. I think it's Tuesday, November 3rd, next Tuesday at 4 p.m. So I want to hear from both of you. Who is going to be traded and to what team? Who should maybe not going to, but who should be traded and where should they go? Kyle, you go first.
So, I mean, this is also in part for spite, but I went Stephon Gilmore to the Seattle Seahawks because,
Who are they going to give up? They don't have anything.
well, they could give up some draft picks, maybe. It's possible. Like, I mean, Bill was so arrogant with his drafting, even though he completely sucks at it. Like, I mean, he drafts horribly, but Gilmore should be traded, I think. I just think he's checked out on the Patriots. I don't think he really looks like he wants to play. And second of all, Russell Wilson playing at MVP level. You've never seen this out of him before. Probably the MVP
He got second place in
front-runner.
MVP voting 2 years
Okay,
ago.
and now he is the by far front runner in MVP. I don't even think it's close
it's not.
at this point. And
he also
they
dropped
have
2 picks this week.
no pass defense. Like, they need help in their secondary. Like, you can't waste this year out of Wilson again.
All right, Ford, what do you think?
I mean, as you mentioned, AJ Green's a guy who I would, maybe like to see go somewhere else. His career's been wasted in Cincy. But my top guy, I want to see Michael Gallup come to the Pats. And
Ooh,
reason
that's a nice
being,
pick, yeah.
I had him on my fantasy team this year, so I'm like,
There's the bias. There's the bias. I was waiting for that.
But at the same time, I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be the second coming of a really, really good receiver.
Yeah, he looks good.
He's going to be a very good NFL receiver for a long time. And Amari Cooper's the number 1 guy there. You don't need 3 number 1 guys. You just don't.
Yeah.
And so I think Gallup's a really good player, and I would like to see him thrive somewhere. And I honestly think New England is a place where he could thrive. I think we need a weapon, and I think he's a guy that Belichick would be willing to go after because he's probably not going to be asking for that much. We could buy low, and he could turn into a lead receiver.
Fair enough. So I'm going to throw out my personal opinion. I want to hear what Kyle has to say about this. So you guys can see my sweatshirt pretty well. So for my Packers, who are definitely trying, I've heard a lot of rumors going around that they're looking to get Will Fuller from the Texans. So, I mean, Devontae Adams after him in the depth chart. It's Alan Lazard, Martez Valdez-Scantling, and Kyle's favorite, Equinemius St. Brown. Kyle always loves Equinemius St. Brown. I don't know why he gets a crack out of the name, but he does. But
Just say it out loud.
Equinemius St. Brown. I don't understand why.
All right, keep going.
Okay, the point is, so I know the Packers definitely need wide receiver help. Clearly, it's not been a problem. Rodgers is getting older, and they need wide receivers. But if you look at how the Packers have been playing, it's not the wide receivers that have been losing them the games. It's their run defense. It's awful, absolutely horrendous. And you know who I want them to get?
Who?
Ryan Kerrigan from the Washington football team. I saw a little bit while ago, I said Ryan Kerrigan to Miami. I'm like, why would Ryan Kerrigan go to a team that's 3-3 with a rookie starting? If Ryan Kerrigan goes and plays along Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, and Ryan Kerrigan, and then Kenny Clark as the defensive tackle, oh man, that's a tough team to play in the playoffs. You go into Green Bay and you see those 3 linebackers there. I don't know why Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith don't have as much, but they're the 31st run defense in the league. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think? Any other names that you want to see going around the league?
Well,
Go ahead.
I think I explained yesterday to you that I would like, if the Packers are going to get a receiver, I like Golden Tate to the Packers.
I like Randall Cobb too, but
Randall Cobb sucks. And
hey,
the Giants.
once a Packer is always a Packer.
I don't care. He's done. He's cooked. And The Giants are trash. I think you can all agree on that.
Of course.
Golden Tate should demand a trade, and they should. Golden Tate has always been a guy who can get open, make tough catches, and I think he'd be great for Green Bay. I do.
Maybe. Ford, what do you think? Any other guys you want to see?
I mean, one guy I was talking to Kyle about earlier is Kareem Hunt. I'm big on. I don't think teams need multiple superstars in the same position, and I think it's just kind of a waste of talent to share a backfield with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
It works out when one gets hurt, as it does right now, but sharing carries between those two seems pointless to me.
I agree.
Well, let me just throw out a couple. So 2 other teams that have been a lot on the media talking about trading is Minnesota and Atlanta. Minnesota said Kyle Rudolph and Harrison Smith, their star safety, both literally anyone that gives them a good offer takes them. And the Falcons, if you think about it, they should think about rebuilding. I hate to say it, but they really should.
No, you're right.
Matt Ryan,
Correct.
I can see Julio Jones going. Julio Jones for 2 first-round picks to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Really?
Or no, my bad. Miami Dolphins. Give Tua Julio Jones.
Even if the Falcons are rebuilding, I still don't know if I see them trading Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Even if they rebuild,
I don't know about I don't know. But they have a new GM. They have a new head coach. I don't know if Dan Quinn's going to, not Dan Quinn, the Arthur Blank, their owner. I don't know if he's going to take control of the situation.
he sucks.
Kyle, an owner cannot be bad at football.
He's terrible.
At managing, at paying for the team?
He waited 3 years later to fire Dan Quinn when he should have been gone after the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean,
that's why they've sucked for the past 3 years.
If Kyle was as if he was an owner of a team, he'd be like, nope, you only won 10 games. Let's get out this team.
Dan Quinn should have been gone after the Super Bowl. That's a fact.
After making a Super Bowl? No.
He blew a 28-3
It doesn't matter. You
lead.
still made the Super Bowl.
Who cares? You blew it. You were up 25.
You were in the Super Bowl. Okay, so Kyle, after the Seattle Seahawks Denver Broncos Super Bowl 48, should the Broncos head coach have been fired and GM immediately? Remember they lost they got blown out. The first play of the game was a snap over Peyton Manning's head that just got a safety. Should he have been fired?
Yes. Yes, he should be gone.
2 years later, Gary Kubiak won a Super Bowl.
You suck in a Super Bowl that bad or blow a 25-point lead? Yeah, there's something wrong. You should be gone.
Kyle, when the Falcons consistently choke games this year, it made sense for them to move on.
It is on the head coach. If they're constantly blowing these games.
This year.
Yeah.
It was this year. Ford, what do you think?
You know how many other games they've choked? You know how many other games they've choked the past year?
99% win percentage? No, I don't remember the last time that happened.
Oh, apparently they have a 99% win percentage. I didn't know that. Maybe I'll look. Maybe I need a new computer.
Against the Lions, against the Bears, against the Cowboys.
Wow, against the Lions and Bears. Oh, congrats. I'm so proud of you.
I mean, something in Atlanta, I don't know what's going wrong, but something keeps going wrong. They got some talent. Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones are both great receivers. Todd Gurley, good running back. I think Matt Ryan's kind of a bum. I've always
I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah.
He's a decent enough quarterback to throw the ball around a little bit.
Yes.
The defense is They need some help on defense. But the fact that they continue to go up and get these leads in games and choke them away in the fourth quarter shows me that it's purely coaching. The fact that they're talented enough to get the lead, but then they're not good enough to keep it, that's a coaching issue to me. I don't know.
Only the Falcons would somehow give up the onside kick the way they did.
They're just looking at it oh, when are we gonna touch it? Don't touch it! Don't touch it! Ah, we got the ball.
They're just all just looking at it and staring at it, you idiots! Just jump on it.
All right, but then the question for you: so the Falcons blew the game against the Bears, against the Cowboys when Dan Quinn was there.
Yep.
Then then he left. They go into Minnesota. They beat the Vikings. The next game, they lose to Detroit after Todd Gurley runs for a touchdown. So is it really Dan Quinn that leads them choking, or is
Most
it just
of it for sure?
Or do you think it's just the city of Atlanta? I mean, look at the Atlanta Braves. If we're going to talk a little bit of baseball, throw in a little bit of baseball there. Atlanta Braves were up 3-0 or 3-1. I think it was 3-1. They choked it. They blew it to the Dodgers. Who, hey, congratulations to the Dodgers. We don't talk enough baseball here, but congratulations to the Dodgers for winning the World Series. Absolutely.
But congrats to the Rays for blowing it the way they did. How about that?
I mean, the Rays don't have the talent to match up with the Dodgers. They never did.
Oh, whatever.
They spent 1/10 of the amount of money that the Dodgers spent.
Right
whatever.
Now, I couldn't name a single player on the Rays. I'll just tell you.
Thank God this is not a baseball show.
Exactly.
We just throw this in occasionally and then see what
It
happens.
was the worst decision in World Series hit. Everybody knows that.
Oh, that I know. That was ridiculous. I saw the stats. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's move on to a really, really fun segment that we did a couple weeks ago and a lot of people enjoyed. We're going to do, instead of 10 questions that we did a couple weeks ago, we're going to do 5 questions. So rapid fire questions. Quick answers, quick questions should be fun. All right, I'm going to start off with Ford. Antonio Brown recently signed a 1-year contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Does that put them over the top as the class or one of the best teams in the NFC?
I mean, I think they were one of the best teams in the NFC without him. I think that's a great signing for, like, any other team in the NFL right now.
Except for them.
They don't need him. They got Chris Godwin. They got Mike Evans. They got Gronk, O.J. Howard, Rojo, Fournette. There's not enough footballs to go around in that offense anymore. Antonio Brown, you know, he's a in my personal opinion, he's a diva.
Yeah.
But he's also a top-tier receiver.
Oh, he's Hall of Fame talent.
100%.
The only reason he's on a team right
Exactly.
now.
2-3 years ago, he was the best receiver in the league.
That's the big thing, 2-3 years ago. That's why I can't take it seriously. Let's hear. I know what Kyle has to say, but go ahead, Kyle.
I love the move. I do. They're pushing all in for him, and I think Antonio Brown will really get his head straight on this because I think he realizes this is his last chance.
Has to.
You know, if he messes this up, I think he knows there's no going for him. He will hit absolute rock bottom if he. And I think that what do you say? I only want to play with Tom Brady. Now he has Tom Brady. You know, if he's going to be a team player, they're going to be tough. They're already tough to stop, but. Oh, boy, they're loaded.
Yeah, they're loaded.
Do you think Bruce Arians, who, by the way, Bruce Arians has dealt with a lot of good players in the past. He coached Peyton Manning, coached Andrew Luck, I'm pretty sure.
He was the offensive coordinator of the Steelers when they...
And Big Ben, yeah. But the point is, do you think he'll be able to withhold Antonio Brown, not lose his cool? Ford, what do you think?
I don't think it'll be as much Arians as it will be Brady. I think the team environment is an environment for him to thrive because he doesn't have to be the superstar. He doesn't have to feel like there's a lot of pressure on him. Arians is he's kind of giving him the cold shoulder coming in. He's made some statements. So I've been like, oh God, this guy could blow up here. But at the same time, it's impossible to tell. But I think the whole head case issue with Antonio Brown, I don't think it'll be an issue anymore. I think like Kyle said, I think he realizes that he needs to kind of get everything figured out.
Right. Question number 2, just as quickly. So, NFL has been known for Saquon Barkley. He's playing on a team like the New York Giants that really don't have too bright of a future ahead of them. So I'm curious, outside of Saquon Barkley, can you name me the biggest wasted talent in the NFL? Kyle, you're going first on this one.
So I was going to go J.J. Watt, but I think that's a little more historic. I went to Sean Watson. He's a franchise quarterback. Guy's legit. And, you have Bill O'Brien. He's not there anymore, but, you traded DeAndre Hopkins. They've had so much talent in the past. It's all been wasted. I think Watson is I think he's the real deal, and I believe Houston has completely wasted what he has.
Yeah, I totally.
Ford, what do you think?
That's a great choice right there. But the guy for me, I think, is Sam Darnold. He hasn't shown a ton of promise, but he's also playing for Adam Gase and the Jets. But I have seen the guy make some incredible throws. He's got speed. He's got an arm. Pretty good vision, it seems like. I think he's got a lot of elements that would make a really good quarterback. He's just not in the environment to develop him.
I agree.
Let me just go off of the Adam Gase thing. So Le'Veon Bell, the past running back for the Jets, gets traded to Kansas City. First run for over 16 yards, didn't have a single 16-yard rush on the Jets.
Exactly.
So my person actually very underrated. So this Mr. Von Miller has been playing on the Denver Broncos team that the no-fly zone left. It's all gone pretty much. Chris Harris Jr. is gone. Akeem Talib is gone. That whole defense.
I think the entire thing is gone.
Exactly. And the Denver Broncos, yes, I really like them with Drew Lock, especially after what I saw at the end of last season. But I don't know. I think Von Miller, he needs to win. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. He got injured this year, but I think he needs to leave. I think he needs to find a better team.
Time's ticking for him, so I agree.
Yeah. Exactly. He's similar to J.J. Watt. All right, next question. Kyle's favorite. Kyle?
Tool bag question.
There you go. Ford, you're starting first. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. This one was hard. I couldn't think of a lot of guys for this one.
I could.
All right, we'll wait for you, Kyle. Wait your turn.
For me personally, my guy is Greg Ward of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have one reason why. I was watching the Giants-Eagles game, the YouTube highlights the other night, and that guy, he had a good player, had a pretty good game, right? 5, 6 receptions. I don't know the exact number, somewhere around there. Touchdown as well. But the entire game, he spent mouthing off. I swear to God, after every single play, there was a whistle and a scrap, and I could not watch it anymore because this guy, Greg Ward, would just get into it with some hothead safety, and I couldn't watch it anymore. It was brutal. So for that reason, Greg Ward's my guy right now.
Kyle?
All right.
You want me to go first? Because you have a list of people.
No, I just have I have a giant list, but I'll only go one. All right. So I went Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator of the Cowboys. I told Ford about this yesterday. Just before I get to his real reason why of this year, just wanted to point out he's been the defensive coordinator of 7 different teams. Those 7 defenses have never been above ranked 24th. So basically, he sucked in every single team he's been on. And second of all, they have the worst defense by far this year. He still sucks. And then the third point is, in a Zoom conference, he was eating barbecue wings and gets it in his eyes. He got sauce in his eyes and had to end the Zoom conference. Oh, you tool. In all capital letters, tool.
Absolute tool. Quick question. For me, I'm going to go Doug Peterson. Kyle definitely agrees. If you see the 2-point conversion plays that he runs, he literally lines Carson Wentz. He's like, you know what? We're both going to run together, and they get stuffed. I'm like, that's weird. I didn't know that's coming. Doug Peterson just pisses off his team, and Kyle said he shouldn't be a head coach right now.
Wait, can I just say the one thing I brought up a couple of weeks ago? Doug Peterson is a doofus and a visor.
All right, next question. Do you think Dak or Dakota Prescott made a mistake not signing the massive contract that he was offered in the offseason? Ford, go ahead.
Oh, man, another one of my fantasy guys. Hated to see him go down.
Kyle, Ford, this is not a fantasy. This is not a fantasy.
I know, but I've got my biases. But it's so easy to say right now, like, oh yeah, you should have taken the contract. And to be honest, I'm one of those people. I think he should have. Because he's a good quarterback. He's always been a good quarterback, but he's never been elite. He likes to think he is, but he's never been elite. But he was betting on himself. He thought he could play at a level where he deserved that much money. And, he thought he could stay healthy. That didn't work out too well. I think that was honestly the worst injury since Alex Smith. And, looking back, I'm sure he really wishes he did take the contract because, after that, he's not getting that much money ever again.
It's gonna be hard.
Kyle, what do you think?
I think yes, he should have accepted the contract. I mean, I'm not just being 20/20 hindsight. I've really always thought that.
Yeah.
5 years, $175 million. That was a fair offer.
He was playing good. He was playing some really good football this year.
He was playing good football.
He wasn't winning every game, but he was playing some good football.
I mean, come on. Like, it's $35 million a year. He's already making over $50 million off the field because of commercials and advertisements. Like, I just don't see the point of maximizing quarterback position when you can take $35 million and try to build other pieces around you.
What was the deal he was looking for?
He was looking for
I think he
wanted at least
money.
He wanted at least 40. He's never been a guy who's Mahomes.
No, he's not Mahomes. He's not
right.
with Mahomes. Money.
He's not that. And Mahomes, I bet, took that giant contract because now if he gets injured, he has nothing to worry about because he's locked up for so many years.
He's set for life.
Before we move on to the next question, I'm just going to say that back when Teddy Bridgewater was on the Vikings, I actually see I just think Dak Prescott is just like a better version of Teddy Bridgewater. So much young potential, gets injured, and look at him now. It was him, Sam Darnold, and Case Keenum that were all free agents on the Vikings. They just didn't know who to go for. And then went with Kirk Cousins. Thank you, Minnesota. All right, next question, last question. This one's a lot of fun. The NFC East. I think the winner of the NFC East right now, the leader, is the Eagles with 2 or 3 wins.
I believe they're 2-4-1.
2-4-1. So my question is, should that division be disqualified? Ford, go ahead.
God, I don't want to see the Eagles in the playoffs. I don't want to see the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Washington football team.
I don't want to see the Washington football in the playoffs, and I don't want to see the Giants in the playoffs. So even though it's not going to happen, I would love to disqualify the NFC East. They are awful.
Kyle?
My answer, I would yell 100 times, all capital letters, yes, disqualify them.
Absolutely.
All 4 of those, I know I've said it a million times, all 4 of those teams stink and suck. All 4 of them. Yeah. Like, you look at the NFC West, you see...
Sleep on Ben DiNucci. Don't you dare sleep on Ben DiNucci.
Because you look at the NFC West, all 4 of those teams are all playoff teams.
Yeah.
Like, they're all, I think, going to finish above 500, and one of them is going to get eliminated because of the horrible division winner. Like, they shouldn't be in. I know that it's divisions and they're supposed to be in, but come on. I mean, this is terrible.
I never accounted for a division sucking this bad.
Oh, God, they're horrible.
Yeah, it's a historic division, but not necessarily historically good.
Exactly.
It's not historically good.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. Thank you, Mr. Ford Pegram, for being the special guest guest on the show. It was a fun
Appreciate it,
time.
boys.
Thank you, Kyle. New American flag over my head. Always fun to have here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back here next week. We might have a new special guest on here. I hope you guys tune in. Before I go, as always, link is up here, info@dsctv.com. You guys, send in any jerseys you want to see on the show, any ideas you want to see, any guest speakers you want to see. Let us know. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a great weekend. I'm Meek again. I'll see you back here next Friday. Thank you, everybody.